Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone, in person and virtually. Thank you for joining us for the June 1st, or the month of June, public safety meeting. It is June 1st at 7 p.m. And we appreciate you joining us for our meeting. We have with us Jatinder Kokar, Director of Public Services, Deputy Chief Coletti, Prince George's County Police, as well as Sergeant Wynkoop, Prince George's County Police, and Sharon Fletcher has joined us. And we have a number of folks on virtually. Thank you very much for joining. And we're gonna open the meeting up with remarks from Mr. Kokar.
Good evening, everyone. Jatinder Kokar, Public Services Director of the City of College Park. Today is June 1st, few minutes past 7 p.m. And we are here to meet in a hybrid manner for this public safety meeting. I'm not going to take too much time here in terms of greeting, but I think Ed has already acknowledged all the folks. We have folks from our city council and some other stakeholders from city at large. I think Denise Mitchell is there, our council member. We also have Mr. Young, our city manager. We also have, I don't see all the list here, August Canner from the University of Maryland Police Department, Miss Mackey, our Mayor Pro Tem, and Mr. Juan Herrera, and Annie O'Connell, and Miss Mitchell. These are the names that I see here on the screen. If I missed everyone, I apologize, but I won't take much more time. I want to request Deputy Chief Coletti to jump right into his data and discuss with the group here. Chief Coletti.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Can everybody hear me okay? Are we good? All right. Hey, before we get started, I know we have two council members from College Park Woods on. I would like for Sergeant Wynkoop just to briefly discuss what took place Saturday night outside the city limits, but it affected residents that lived in the city. And he's just going to give you a brief update, and I'm going to email the details either tonight or tomorrow to the city manager. So, Sarge, do you mind just filling everybody in real quick?
No problem. Saturday evening, we did get a noise complaint about 2,200 hours at Limestone and Davisonville. And we checked the neighborhood. And as we're scanning the neighborhood, it almost sounded like a nightclub had moved into the neighborhood itself. But we couldn't find any residents that the party was coming from. Then we actually got back into the back of the neighborhood by the bike trail and realized that the music and the amplified sound was coming from the parking ride from the Beltway at 495 and 95, and it was affecting the whole community of College Park Woods. So we actually went to the 495-95 split and shut it down. And we actually cited the people that brought the speakers and the amplifiers to this event. We have their information, we document it. We also took photographs of it for the council to see. Deputy Chief Coletti will be sending out later, but they did receive citations for it. And if it happens again, we will step it up, issue criminal citations.
Thank you. But how many people were in attendance?
Approximately 30.
Okay.
So it's good work by the contact officers being able to identify where they're hanging out at. We also notified the Maryland State Police, but hopefully that will help deter some of that activity.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'll go ahead and start the presentation on the crime report for the month of May. And we can go ahead and change the slide. Okay, the first slide for tonight is just the overall view of crime in the city for the month of May. We had 6 assaults, 3 residential burglaries, 10 theft from autos, 11 other thefts, and 4 stolen vehicles. Next slide. Next slide. So before we hit the assault slides, just so we had no robberies in the city for May, which is a good thing. 6 assaults in the city, and I won't get into a lot of detail about them. Out of the 6, only 1 was domestic related, and I'll just go down the list of all of them. 7200 block of Baltimore Avenue, there was a verbal dispute with the victim and the suspect did not know each other. The verbal dispute became physical, and the victim was assaulted by the suspect. The second one occurred in the 4800 block of Berwin House Road. The the suspect threw food at the victim. Once again, this turned to be physical, and the victim was assaulted by the suspect. The suspect fled the scene. The domestic assault occurred at Adelphi Road and Curry Drive. Not much information on that. The 4th assault occurred in the 4900 block of Edgewood Road. The victim and the suspect are co-workers. They had a verbal dispute. Once again, the dispute became physical, and the suspect threw a blunt object at the victim's head. Minor injuries. The 5th assault occurred in the 8700 block of 36th Avenue. Once again, verbal dispute between friends. It became physical. The suspect struck the victim in the head with a metal pole. And the victim did not require medical attention at the hospital, but was treated on the scene by the fire department. And lastly, the last assault took place at the 7-Eleven, 8900 block of Rhode Island Avenue. The victim went inside to pay for gas, left his vehicle running. The suspect struck the victim and back of the head with a flashlight. The suspect then jumped in the victim's vehicle and took off. And so that's going to be looked into by our carjacking unit. So we'll go to the next slide. I won't talk too much about the burglaries. I know it's very unusual for College Park to have 3 burglaries in 1 month. But the only thing I will say is we are working with another public safety agency. This is a crime spree that's occurring, and we're going to be working a joint investigation with another law enforcement agency. So hopefully next month I'll have more information regarding the 3 burglaries. And most of them occurred in the what is the name of Evanston?
College Park Estates.
College Park Estates. Next slide. Just a quick overview of the theft from autos and other thefts. We had a total of 10 theft from autos. On 4 of them, they shattered out the windows and took items from inside the vehicle. And then on the 4th one, they shattered the windows, but they also took 2 tires and rims from the vehicle. On 3 of them, the victims left their doors unlocked, and the suspects went inside and stole property. Next slide, please. We had 4 stolen vehicles for the city for the month of May, but 2 of them were actually electric bikes rolled as vehicles. So when we really look at it, we only had 2 stolen vehicles from the city which is really good for the month. Next slide. Just the heat mapping regarding noise complaints in the city. Next slide. Heat mapping report regarding the quality of life issues in the city for the month. Next slide. Just the heat mapping regarding our field interviews and traffic stops in the city. As you can see, there's a lot of proactive work being done by all the officers involved. Next slide. And I'll just leave this up for a couple seconds. It's just the monthly comparison crimes for the month, or actually for December of 2025 and to current to May.
Sounds pretty high, huh?
Next slide. And I'll just leave up the crime stats for 2026. I'll just leave it up there for a little bit so everybody take a look at it. And while everybody's looking at it, I'll just briefly talk. We did have 6 shoplifting incidents in the month of May. 5 were at the CVS pharmacy in the 7300 block of Baltimore Avenue, and 2 were at the CVS pharmacy in the 8600 block of Baltimore Avenue. So that actually should be a total of 7, not 6. All right, next slide. And I think everybody's pretty familiar with this, just the definitions of some of the crimes, topics that we talk about. And I'm not sure if this will be a topic at this meeting, but the new traffic direction in the community or neighborhood of Berwyn, I'd just like to say that I just threw some stats out of what we've done, and I'll just give you some raw numbers. On May 26th, we conducted 16 traffic stops, issued 15 citations and 15 warnings. On May 27th, we conducted 7 traffic stops, issued 9 warnings and 1 safety equipment repair order. On the 29th, we had 9 traffic stops, issued 2 citations, 7 warnings, and 1 safety repair order. And lastly, on the 30th, we had 8 traffic stops, issued 2 citations, 4 warnings, and 2 safety equipment repair orders. The officers did report that they got a lot of positive feedback from members of the community, thanking them for being proactive on the traffic violations. So with that being said, I'll open it up for discussion.
Yeah, I think before we get into further discussion or open it up, I also want to make a statement here as a public services director that contract police programs, efforts on traffic enforcement have been phenomenal. I have cited quite a few of that data in my bi-weekly report to all the council member and the mayor's report that we sent out. To say the least, I think it's exceptional effort on the part of contract police department. And that indicates that they always go above and beyond in many scenarios, especially when we get a feedback from the community members and it concerns the safety of a little child or a toddler or somebody who is grown up being, not effectively dealt with. We take those feedbacks very seriously. And I'm personally, as a professional, I'm very pleased. And there are details in the bi-weekly report. If there's any question, I just wanted to make a statement in regard to that. Thank you, Chief, and thank you to your officers. Really grateful from my heart and mind. Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions in the chat.
What's that?
There's a couple of questions in the
All right.
chat.
Want to go ahead and read them?
From Juan Herrera, I would appreciate updates on those burglaries in College Park Estates, since a lot of other vehicle-related crimes go unreported from this neighborhood for distrust in PGPD. That way I can pass on information to residents that are reluctant to contact PGPD for other matters.
So Juan, I'll say this. I'm not sure where you're getting the distrust from. We are a very transparent police agency. If you have any concerns, by all means, you can talk to me on one-on-one. I would love to hear the issues or the distrust that community members may or may not be having with the police department. But I can tell you this, under Chief Nader and the county executive, we look at all crimes that are reported. And like I said earlier, we are very transparent and we're willing to work with any member of the community. So, but I will say this, and I think most people know me, I will not talk about any active investigation that's currently going on, that we're working with our law enforcement partners from other jurisdictions. And like I said earlier, once that case is resolved, I'll be more willing to provide the information after the investigation is concluded.
And then we have a comment from Annie O'Connell. Who did you ask for feedback from with regards to traffic stops?
So I'm not sure, what feedback are you looking for?
Yeah, I can clarify. Thank you so much for taking my question. I was just curious because you were concerned about people's trust in the police, and one concern that I have is that I actually don't experience the transparency on my end as a resident in College Park. So I'm just kind of curious, when you hear positive feedback about you said that people provided positive feedback about the traffic stops. I'm curious who that was, just because I learned that for the Blue Light Nights, there actually was an outreach event just across the street from me, literally the building across the street, and I never really found out about it. And this public safety meeting used to be on the public calendar, now it's not. So I was just, or I mean, the link to it is not on the public calendar, and it's not like in the email, the monthly email or the weekly email anymore. So I was just kind of curious how the information is getting disseminated, and like about police activity, and then how feedback is being received by the police.
So, Annie, I'm not, do you live in the Berwyn neighborhood by chance?
I live in Lakeland.
You live where?
Lakeland.
Oh, Lakeland.
Lakeland, yeah.
So I'm not really sure what information you're looking about traffic stops or what you're asking for. I will say this, and we were just talking about the Berwyn neighborhood regarding the new signage for direction control for the one-way streets now. So when the officers do traffic stops, residents who actually live in that neighborhood stop the officers and thank them. That's what I was talking about.
Okay, I understand now. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. Let's make it.
We see
Okay,
see hands raised. Maria Mackey was first. Councilmember Mackey was first, please.
Yes, thank you very much. I just wanted to answer the lady who spoke before. The meeting, the public service meeting for safety that's held on the first Monday of every month is it's in the weekly bulletin. And you have to sign up in advance just because there was an incident of a hacker getting on the Zoom call, and so just for the safety and well-being of the callers, they ask that we register in advance. But it's in the weekly bulletin, and if you have trouble seeing it in the weekly bulletin. If you want to email your council members or myself, I'd be glad to send you the link. So that it's always the first Monday. So my observation and question is about the noise coming from the 95 park and ride. We've had this happen in the past, and I thought that it wasn't supposed to be open past a certain time. Is that correct or not correct?
You can park at the park and ride at any time. As far as the events that they're hosting there, that's improper. But if you parked your car and jumped in and went to New York with someone, you can park at the park and ride.
Thank you. For some reason, I thought that it was only supposed to be open between certain hours and close. But okay, so I see why they can use it for parties, late night parties. Okay, well, thank you very much for going in there and closing that down. We appreciate you. I know the residents of College Park Woods appreciate you. Thank you so much.
So, council member, just so you know, and I'll try to forward some of the pictures. If you saw the speaker setup they had, it was basically like a nightclub. There's a lot of speakers, very powerful, and I wish I could share it today just so you could see what the speakers look like. But it was good work by the contract officers that went outside the city to locate the noise and cite the violators. So appreciate it.
Okay, Councilmember Mitchell?
Thank you. I guess this is about the event that happened last night, because if that's it, I'm fine on asking any more questions. Was this about pertaining to the event that happened yesterday on 95?
No, that was Saturday evening.
Oh, okay, because there was an event
Saturday,
yesterday. Oh, okay, because there was another event yesterday, last night.
What area was that in?
The same area that you're talking about, but I can take that offline.
Okay. Okay,
But thank you.
okay, thank you. Juan Herrera?
Yes, I just want to address my comment about distrust in the police. So a lot of the residents in this neighborhood are transient residents that are renting houses and, coming and going. They're not long-term residents. They're not homeowners. You add that to the fact that they've never seen at least PGPD in this neighborhood. And that's kind of where the distrust comes from. We can't trust someone that we don't see. And I've been living here for about 2.5 years, and the only police officer I've ever seen in this neighborhood is my neighbor, who's a police officer. But I've never seen PGPD in this neighborhood. So that's where my comment comes. And I know neighbors whose vehicles, I know last council meeting, we talked about the 7 Honda Civics that were broken into. A lot of those weren't reported to you guys because they didn't trust you guys. So that's kind of where my comment is coming from. They can't trust you if they don't see you.
So Juan, so just so I'm clear, what neighborhood do you live in?
College Park Estates, where you're saying those burglaries occurred now.
So I will say this, we're in your neighborhood a lot. It's not that every police officer has a marked vehicle. We have officers that do have unmarked vehicles. And I will say this, the Prince George's County Police Department, along with the contract officers, we take a lot of pride in the service that we provide community members. And I think what you're saying about it, just because you don't see us, you say there's a distrust.
Right.
I take no offense to that. We work very hard with all members of our communities. And if you ever want to come by and talk to me personally, I'm always available. I don't personally come to every meeting, but if you send the city an email and you'd like to meet one-on-one, I'm more than willing to do it. Because we got to have trust in each other. That's what makes this city great in the county, is we got to trust one another, and whatever we can do so that you feel comfortable or other members of the community feel comfortable. But I just find that it's because you don't see us, you have a distrust. Maybe that should be the word that we should be using, is saying distrust.
Like I'll give you an example. Like for example, in Old Town, I'm not sure if he's a contract officer or if he's just an officer on patrol, but he parks his vehicle, and I've literally seen him. He walks up and down the streets in Old Town. Why can't it be that you guys do that here in College Park Estates so that the residents can see the same officer or the same group of officers up and down their neighborhood? Why do you guys have to drive around in unmarked cars when you have one officer who does it in Old Town that knows people because he walks up and down those streets? I've seen him. I know who he is. Why can't there be an officer that does that here so that people can be like, oh, I know who that officer is?
So, and I'm sure you're aware of this since you know what Old Town looks like and what College Park Estates looks like. I said it's two different type of neighborhoods. We have a lot of foot traffic in the Old Town area. A lot of college students, younger people. Most of those individuals are out on foot. That's why we're out on foot. Now, if we go to a neighborhood that you're talking about at College Park Estates, the houses are somewhat spread apart. It would be a lot of time for that officer to walk around just one block alone. That's why we use motor vehicles. So we look at neighborhoods for what they are, and we plan our operation or our tactics based on what we think we can get the best buck. So if I had to walk around your neighborhood, it would take me hours, right? That's why we use a vehicle. So I'll just throw that out at you. But listen, I'm always available. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, I'm more than welcome to do so.
Okay.
But I would love for you to tell members of the community that we are a very transparent organization, and it really hurts me to hear when you say there's a distrust in the community. So that means we as a police department, along with our community leaders, we got to do something better so that people will trust us, so that we can get that good police service and that good relationship going. So I appreciate your remarks.
Mm-hmm. I can tell them that, but if they don't see you, they won't trust you. That's the most I can say.
This is Alan Hugh, council member for District 1. If I may comment on this, I advise you and anybody who has any sort of distrust for the Prince George's County Police to take the time to build that trust. They have a Citizens Police Academy that they offer where you can learn so much about how they operate and why they operate the way they do. So please, you'll be totally enlightened by the service that this police department does for the community. And if, you might find it, that's down in Upper Marlboro. It meets usually once a week for, I think 13 or 14 weeks. But there's also one offered by the University of Maryland, which is really easy because it's right here in College Park. That one's maybe 9 or 10 weeks. So get to know the police departments that serve y'all, because they have so much to offer that we may not realize all the different programs and why and how they operate the way they do. And I'd be more than happy to give you more information on that, or encourage you in any other way to maybe do a ride along or something to understand how our police department's working for us.
Actually, I will add on to what Council Member Hughes said. One, if there is any a neighborhood meeting, and folks have concerns about public safety or anything related to emergency response or anything in the similar, kind of issues that they feel as a community, please invite us. We'll be glad to be there. Kind of meet one-on-one in person in your neighborhood meeting. And as Mr. Hughes said, I know for sure that at least there have been 3-4 incidents where, police officers have invited, neighborhood folks, ride with them and see, and then they show them, what the radar is picking up, how fast the car is going, because a lot of time people have a bit of disconnect to the reality check. When they see from the car and they look at the radar, they probably have a little bit better understanding what they do on daily basis. It's not that the police officer is ignoring anything, but they are just trying to be transparent and be most effective in a given scenario. But we strongly encourage you, Vaughn, if there is any, like in future neighborhood meeting, we would love to be there and see you all in person.
Also, if I may add, August 4th is National Night Out, and there will be officers from the different various departments at this event. And please encourage these neighbors that may have distrust in the sense of we don't see you, we don't know what you're doing or whatever, and come talk to these officers. It'll be at Duval Field.
Yeah.
So it'll be done and open by then. That's great. So. Please come out and introduce yourselves, get to know your officers, you'll be there.
So Vaughn on city side, Ed Daniel is our public safety and emergency response officer. I work as a public services director. We are both accessible, as Deputy Chief Kaladi said earlier. Just give us an opportunity to hear you guys out and do our best, how we can impactfully and objectively address if there are any concerns.
Okay, do we have any other questions or comments for Chief Coletti? Okay, seeing none. Gonna move on. So the next topic on our agenda is gonna be automated enforcement report. So basically, an update with regards to our stop sign violation activity for the month of May. We've had close to 5,000 stop sign violation events. Oh, excuse me. Share this. Okay, unfortunately can't see the whole printout, but so share with the mayor. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Okay, my apologies. Okay, so for the month of May, with regards to stop sign violations, we've had 4,926 stop sign violation events that were recorded. Of that 4,900, 4,050, there were 4,050 tickets issued. There were 336 events that were rejected, and we have 540 events that are pending review by officers. So we're seeing where numbers are kind of leveling out with regards to the events that are being reviewed by officers, and it seems as though things are becoming more steady. We have, because this is the first day of June, Avia has not provided the breakdown of the individual locations, but we'll have that for the next meeting with regards to the breakdown of the 5 locations throughout the city.
Could I ask a question? Sure. I'm curious to know, do you have any data on, before you put this monitoring system in, what the numbers were like? Just so I have some idea, because it seems like a lot to me, but maybe it's great compared to what it was before, so I have no idea.
Okay, so the question was, do we have data with regards to the number of traffic violations that were occurring before the monitoring system or the ticket system went into effect? During the course, there was a traffic study approximately a year ago in which a total of nine locations were monitored with regards to traffic light or failure to obey traffic signs at 9 different locations.
Okay.
based on the results of the traffic study and compiling information, the locations, the 5 locations were identified as the most prevalent locations of repeated violations. And as a result, those 5 locations were selected for ongoing monitoring. Now, our vendor, which is Avio AI, provides a monthly breakdown as to, of those 5 locations, this is what we're getting, okay? And not only that, but they also provide an overview as to the speed range in which these cars are violating the traffic sign. So, we're working with them to continue to analyze these locations and make adjustments if needed. But we can see from the first month, even from the first 30 days, which was a warning period, to where we started issuing citations, the numbers have dropped dramatically. So it's impacting driver behavior, and that's the main thing that we're looking to do.
Great. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. Sir?
Is there any data on whether the offender is a resident of College Park or not?
That's provided in the monthly breakdown. So when Avio presents their monthly overview, it not only gives the breakdown of offenses or violations at the various locations, but then it also gives an overview in terms of whether the vehicle is registered in Maryland, or part of Maryland, outside of Maryland, based on their database. So again, when we get the May report, we'll be able to have that to share.
I'm hoping our residents are learning fast and not getting tickets.
I think they are. Any other questions? In person or online?
Hey, and I got one thing.
Yes.
I failed to mention one thing. If everybody's seen the camera that's up by the post office on Baltimore Avenue, it's a blue trailer. The county has placed that trailer there and it's for noise. So that's what they're monitoring right now. And we moved it from different parts of the county. College Park was next, so that's why it's there. So it's a noise, noise camera, if you want to say that. Yeah, I guess so.
So it's actually taking pictures of the vehicles, or is it just doing counts of how often?
That I would have to double check, because I know they can do citations. We're only allowed to have so many for the county, so we've been moving it around. I believe they probably do get citations, but I'm not sure how much it's actually picking up. I'll have to look into it.
Hi, I'm glad you brought that up because I live on Apache and 51st. And as you know, the industrial park, Branchville Road, around there, there's a muffler place.
Yep.
Does a great job in producing extreme loud noise. And so we get cars going through there all hours with incredibly loud cars. I don't know if that blue van can park there for a while or whatever, because we've complained about this before. They even had signs up for a while, which are gone now, because nobody's monitoring it, so they can't catch people doing it. But I don't know what we can do about that, but I just don't understand why that's allowed to happen in a residential area like that.
You mean the business itself is making the noise?
The business is making sure that the cars wake everybody up.
The service they're providing.
Yeah.
The business providing the service, making these cars super loud.
And then they leave, they tear out of there, and it's really scary, because, you can't you would think an army of tanks is driving down the road and it's one little car, but nobody's able to give them a citation.
So we do citate, if you look at the weekly report, we do citate or give citations to vehicles with loud exhaust. The guy sitting right next to me, he'll write a lot of tickets to everybody that has loud exhaust. So we do have the ability to do it. but unfortunately, we're not there every day, every hour. But that's something we may be able to maybe work with the city to see if we can pay them a visit.
Right, I think you guys have done that previously, maybe a couple of times in last year and a half's time period.
And I'm not sure if that
Is there
goes
an
against the
ordinance?
city's regulation or
Yeah,
if they have to redo their permits. That's something that maybe the city attorney can look into.
is there any ordinance against that, having that loud mufflers or whatever? And my question is, if the city says you can't have that, and this business is allowed to keep, adjusting and making the cars able to do that, then isn't, they're just,
So city monitors from code enforcement point of view that business is licensed or if there is a code enforcement complaint as far as their operation goes. But I think what I'm hearing from you is that, when they modified somebody's exhaust and the person is pulling out of it after getting and making a lot of noise. For that, I think the solution is that we should ask for a request to the police department to do a specific patrol at that location.
that's what I'm saying.
And we have done that.
Yeah.
And we could do it even in this case as well.
And when we do issue those citations, we do equipment repair orders, which makes them take it back to a state safety inspection.
Okay, but the business is not being held responsible for any of this.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
So business compliance piece is for their operation or what they do. But when they modify with it, there is the correct way to address it is through the police department because they have more authority to address that particular noise that is coming out of modification of the exhaust system.
So we do have a noise ordinance for the city. And in this case, I think it might be the noise control board where you write to them, where you can put them on.
I think, and thank you for mentioning that, like we used to have two people giving an affidavit. I think what Mr. Yu is referring is, like you as a resident could kind of put us a request and we can bring your concern to the noise control board and they can, make a decision, go over the facts, what you report, and then they can make a decision. And if in their, disposition of the case, they find out, they could direct us to take an action.
Yeah, I brought this up a couple of years ago, and it seemed to, I thought that it was less, and that they were doing something about it, but it's back again, so especially now this summer, they're driving around in these cars, zooming down, and I'm sure they're speeding too, because, but they go down 51st Avenue, this road right here is where they drive back and forth.
I'm gonna give you my business card.
Okay,
And
I'm happy to cooperate in any way I can.
And you can just write me an email and we will take up your case with the noise control
Okay.
board and we can see what we do.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Coker, thank you for bringing this up, and I heard similar ideas from other residents as well.
Yeah, I'm
Because
sure it's
they're-
not just me.
And I'm not going to go any specific business, because they may or may not be doing it. The suggestion is, I know our police is doing a fantastic job in going after the vehicles, the drivers who are driving this vehicle.
Yeah.
But if we could go into the source of the problem, the business or shops who are modifying these mufflers, that might be more effective because
That's right.
in terms of numbers, the business are very less, but in terms of cars, there are many.
Yeah.
So it is more effective if we got, I think the
Get to the
challenge,
root of the problem, which is.
yeah, they're probably a state or county law. City of Collegeport doesn't have any, but
So,
it's.
this definitely warrants a deeper discussion with the city attorney. Like, I understand what the concern is being raised here, but we can definitely kind of, peel the onion more to kind of go to the deeper aspect of it.
There's a lot of elderly residents in this area with their private homes here, and so they're.
It is a nuisance, it's a public
It
service.
is a nuisance, yeah.
This is clear. Thank you for sharing that information, the news. And we have been asking for noise camera. We advocated for noise camera from the city
I
council.
remember, yeah.
We sent letters to the state. So we're very happy to see that coming to College Park. Can you tell us how many months this might be with us? Because they're
That-
moving, right?
Yeah, I can't tell you how, it's only been there for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I'll try to see if I can obtain some stats. And I think the way the program works is this, if the vehicle or the noise is higher than 85 decibels, that's when you're cited. But if I'm not mistaken, the first violation is a warning, the second one is a $75 fine. I believe that's how they're working it. But I'll try to get more information on how many violations is actually picking up and how many citations were issued.
Thank you.
Okay, we have
We have raised the violation charges. Can the county consider doing that too? So it's,
What's that?
So the city of College Park got the authority to raise our ceiling on taxes,
On the fines.
fine.
Penalties.
It was from 1,000 to 5,000 now.
Yeah.
I wonder if the county can do likewise for some of these offenses that, I mean, $75 is a joke to people who pay to, several thousand to have it modified. It's until you hit them in the pocketbook, it's more expensive to get caught one more time.
Well, with the equipment repair orders, they actually have to put it back to legal. And then if they want it, they have to get it modified again, because they actually have to have a state inspector sign off. And if a state inspector is just signing off on it for them, it's a $10,000 fine and they lose their license.
I think we got to move on. We got to.
Yes, we have Councilmember Hernandez has a hand raised.
Yeah, really quick. I mean, I was gonna ask for us to consider the fact that this is probably more of a county licensing concern, and maybe DPI would have to get involved, and it's a conversation probably not necessarily for the police. Maybe it would be in conjunction with the police, but we're moving on from the topic. It's fine.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, so next topic, just as an update, we're still in the process of working with our vendor as far as transitioning from the diesel speed camera trailers at the 3 locations to a permanent pole, to a permanent fixture. At this point, we're just waiting to work with Pepco to have the connections initiated, and then the diesel trailers will be no more at those locations. Moving on to community updates. As far as the upcoming 4th of July fireworks, the City of College Park nor University of Maryland will be hosting any fireworks shows for the 4th of July weekend. However, there are a number of communities in the area that will be having various events, not to mention what they'll be hosting downtown DC. And on Friday, June 12th is our next Friday Night Live, which will be held at City Hall Plaza. Feel free to come out and join. And as mentioned earlier, National Night Out will be held at Duval Field on August 4th from 6 p.m. to 8:30. So feel free to join us for that event as well. Captain Kenner from UMPD, how are things going now that campus has closed or the semester has ended?
Yes, sir. Good evening. Everything's going well. I think I sent you the PowerPoint if you wanted to put that up. Well, we haven't had many issues. Commencement is over. Most of our student population have moved out. So we're just continuing to monitor. Our CIU continues to work active cases. We have our crime prevention team and our community officers out and about, but everything is going well. If you wanted me to give stats, I sent you the PowerPoint for that if you want me to touch on that.
I did not see that, so my apologies on that.
I think you muted yourself, Ms. Karen.
Oh, yes. Okay. I'm sorry. Yes. And like I said, we've been working, of course, closely in collaboration with Prince George's County Police and their cops officers to continue our monitoring patrols and our continued advancement downtown and on campus. I know that there are a lot of events. Let me just go to my notes coming up for us. So for June, we have June through August, we've started our new student parent orientations, which started today. June 10th, we'll have our Special Olympics Law Enforcement Torch Run. And I think Prince George's County will also be participating in that. June 11th will be our Division of Administration Employee Appreciation event. And as you all stated, for the 4th of August, National Night Out, and our knock and talks with the city as well. So lots of events going on. And if anybody has any questions, I can put my information in the chat. And that's it for us.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
You're welcome.
that.
No
And
worries.
my apologies for the oversight on my end.
No worry.
Does anyone have any questions in person or online? Okay, seeing none.
Yeah, I think I don't see any further questions from anybody present remotely or here in person. We can wrap up this or culminate this meeting. We are all available, just an email or a phone call away. Our contact information is on our website. Just let us know how we are doing, and wherever the community have any specific needs in their neighborhoods, we would love to kind of gauge that and address it in the best possible, predictable, and efficient manner. We are open. We take a lot of pride in transparency. That's how the local government should be. Let us know.
Okay, Mayor Pro Tem Mackey?
Yes, I just wanted to make sure, I'm pretty sure Sharon does this every time, but there were a couple of things in the chat that maybe Mr. Daniels and Director Kokar should take a look at. One of them was from Mr. Herrera. I think that might be the only one. Oh, and also Sharon, you said that you would make sure that Ms. O'Connell is on the list to get the link, right? Okay, great. There were so many things going on in the chat and you guys were trying to present. I thought I'd flag those for you so to make sure you saw them. Thank you so much. It was very informative. Appreciate all of your all's time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Maggie.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. This concludes the meeting for the month of June.
Have a wonderful night, folks.
Thank you.